Incorporating set matte effect in your workflow is quite useful since it often allows you to skip precomposing, which means your comps can stay more live and your workflow will be more pleasant. Let me show you a quick example to illustrate. We have this sample logo here, and let's say I wanted to add this grunge texture on top of it to grunge it up a bit. The conventional way to do it would be to use our logo comp as a track matte, as an alpha matte. But let's say I wanted to have a bit more control over where the grunge appears. Well, a good way to do that would be to use fractal noise as a luma matte to mask off some of the grunge. So let's make a solid, add fractal noise on it, have a bit of a fast blur, and basically create a luma map for revealing our texture underneath it. But at the moment, the track matte slots are being taken by the logo comp. So to use a fractal noise layer as a luma matte for the grunge texture, we're now forced to precompose them together. And now, if you want to make any changes or tweak your fractal noise texture for randomness, you have to go inside the precomp to do it, which is not ideal. So, a way around this precomping is to use set matte. One thing to remember, that set matte is one of those effects that needs all the layers involved to be of the same dimensions. So let's precomp the grunge texture layer, move all attributes, and set it back to screen. And let's put a set matte on it. Change the layer to red solid, which is our fractal noise texture. And change the mode to effects and masks so it sees the fractal noise effect. And instead of using alpha, we're going to use the luminance. Now you can see our fractal noise is eating away at the texture, kind of revealing only parts of it, and we can control it right in this comp. If we go ahead and set the alpha matte back to the logo, so we have our texture appearing only where the logo is, now you can see we can dial in the amount of grunge and the look of it while seeing the whole composite at once, instead of having to go through precomps to control the grunge element. It may not seem that big of a deal on this small example, but once you start stacking up a lot of textures and have a lot of layers going, using set mattes instead of precomping usually improves my workflow quite a bit.